Welcome back to the Feel Weird podcast. We've got a little bit different today, haven't we? We're missing Splinter, we're missing Lils, we're missing everybody. It's back to the OG.
Team's gone.
It's just me and you, my
Team's
friend.
Team's gone.
It's just me and you. Mm-hmm. So in that case, we're going to do some fun stuff again. We've got no guests to lecture, no guests to question. We're just going to do some fun stuff. So we've got a bit of a funny little segment at the end that we've been wanting to do for a while.
We do.
But before that, we're going to go way back to our roots.
Take us back.
And catch up to some pop culture, aren't we?
We do. Before that,
Splinter, in his absence, has sent in a question of the week.
Yep.
To get us going. And I haven't seen it, and it is.
Go ahead, let me hear it.
Oh, I can already tell this is going to be a good one. It's gone. It's gone right to the bottom again.
As per always.
There we go. If you got a call from the police and the other person on this sofa had been arrested, what crime would they have committed?
He's good at his job.
Not only is he good at his job, he doesn't even know the story of why I nearly got arrested the other week.
Yeah, good point.
So maybe you should go first.
We'll bring that up in an actual... for anyone who obviously doesn't know Sam, which will be likely the majority of people listening to this, there's no unluckier human on earth.
Yeah.
You know Domino from Deadpool 2?
Yeah.
Her whole thing's her thing's Lady Luck.
I'm anti-Domino.
You're anti-Domino. You're checkers. You're not dominoes. Do you know what I mean?
This shit ain't chess. I did it the other way around.
Yeah,
this shit ain't checkers, this is chess.
Yeah, well done. Sam, what Training Day?
I watched Training Day the other day.
It'd be for something so unlucky. I know it'd be if he called or the police called and said, your friend's been caught blood in his hands, there's a dead person on the floor.
I know that your first thought would be someone's fell off a bridge in front of me.
Exactly.
Not that I've done anything.
I would know it's an accident. Someone has tripped in front of him, fell on their own knife and died, and they've thrown the knife into the air. He's caught it. Fingerprints are on it.
Yeah. And
he's too good of a person to dip. And he thought, I'll call them myself. And they've thought, he's trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah.
He's killed him. I'd go, officer, funny story. This kind of stuff happens to him all the time.
This happens all the time.
Yeah, this is a very typical Sam Kappa thing. So,
well, do you know what's actually funny, people? That Liam's answer is, as much as it's bang on correct, it's not even as ridiculous as the reason I nearly was arrested.
Tell him why you were nearly arrested this week.
I've got some beef with the police
with
at the moment, with the Popo, with the pigs. And basically, I have an electric scooter. I've been riding it for like a year or two.
Road legal electric scooter.
Apparently.
So we thought.
So I thought.
Go on.
And I don't know where you're listening from, but every major city has got literally like thousands of these knocking about at the moment.
Yeah.
These bike lanes everywhere. It's what everyone is on, right? When I bought mine from Curry's, I wasn't told anything about it, just blah, 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 you order it. It comes, I drive it, simple as. I was riding to work the other week and I go to cross the road at the lights and the lights were on green for the cars, not green man. And this bloke like waved me across and I was like, looked at the green light. I was like, well, right, okay, whatever. Crossed. And then sirens come on and I look to my right and it's a blacked out police car. This bloke goes like this, pull over. And I was like, right, whatever, okay. He gets out of the car and he goes, have you got your license and registration? And I went, for what?
You went, excuse me, I'm actually on two wheels.
I swear to God, I laughed. I was like, for what?
I would.
And he smiled and looked at his...
top band at that. Have a good one, officer.
Yeah, innit?
I'm out.
See, I know you guys had a sense of humour, bloody hell. Honest to God, and he looks at his mate and they both like smile at each other and I was like, it's an electric scooter. And I was like, it goes literally 15 miles an hour. What are you on about? Anyway, long story short, you need to have a driver's license for them now.
But Curry's let you know that, didn't they, when they bought it?
Obviously, nobody's told me that.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Just to sum up my unluckiness, I said to the officer, I was like, look, I'm not annoyed with you. If that's the law, that's the law. But why am I been driving this for 2 years and this is the first I've heard about it? And they're everywhere. And I swear to God, as he's pulling me over, these fucking scooters going past.
Yep.
And he points at the Lime scooters and go, they're fine because Lime pay loads of money for insurance and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But he said because it's technically a motorised vehicle. Motorised vehicle, Liam. The battery on it's as big as my phone. So you're telling me that if I put a motorised battery on this Yeezus vinyl, that it's a vehicle, is it?
Yeah.
Because that's what he said.
Yeah, if you stick two wheels on it.
So my ticket was for driving a motorised vehicle unlicensed.
Yeah, that is bonkers.
The same as a fucking car.
You nearly got a fine though.
Yeah, he let me off with it because he fucking took my scooter off me.
Do you know how much the fine would have been?
Oh, mate, this shows how much of a grey area it's in at the moment though, because he was literally scribbling stuff out on the ticket.
Yeah, he's making it up.
Well, it's literally there's laws in place at the moment, but the laws are in place at the moment it's a stretch that they're covering this because it's like a 2-wheeled vehicle. But obviously that's a fucking motorbike.
What's the deal with every Delivery and Just Eat driver has? You know the thing on the attached to the bike?
Literally. Like
so
motorised bicycles.
Bike.
And I swear so when I said to him, well, I've been driving this for 2 years and I didn't know about it and no one said anything, he literally said to me, well, the funny thing is you probably wouldn't get pulled over normally, but me and my partner are out on an operation to raise awareness for electric scooters driving around unlicensed.
He's a real Dwight Schrute for the
So I've
Metro.
literally just been, a job's worth pulled me over to make an example of me. I'm fuck all wrong. So
my thing is,
Splinter, that's a perfect question.
Great question, Splinter. If you were 15 seconds earlier or later in your day leaving, you would have been fine. You would not have known.
Literally.
And since then, you've mentioned and told me this story. I've seen every man and his dog everywhere. And I just keep wanting to stop and going, have you been pulled over yet? Because I think probably not.
He said they were doing that operation for 4 days.
Oh, yeah, you were fresh. You were the top of the list.
Literally.
There's got to be a warehouse that's just filled with scooters.
So I ain't getting it back for one, because again, with this grey area, so you don't need a driver's license to drive an electric scooter if it goes over 25 kilometers an hour. Mine goes 24.8.
Yeah.
So I don't need a license.
Shafted.
So I don't need a license technically,
right,
but I need to be insured. Can't get insured unless you've got a license.
That is a big.
So I can't pick it up from the station unless I've got insurance and a driver's license.
Yeah.
He fucking told me if I had L plates on it, it'd have been fine. L plates on electric scooter.
I'm a learner on my own.
Where am I clicking them on?
It's a good point.
Where am I putting them?
On your battery.
Fucking wrapped around so you just see a red line.
On the edge of like your belt.
On my goggles. Just drive around with a big L on my head.
You might have to.
It was a fat L on my head.
I was just going to say, you received an L. Answer Splinter's question though.
So,
to get off that tangent.
Yes, but what for you, you're in the perfect line of work to not get in trouble, because if you were in any other line of work, it'd be the kind of thing like not putting the handbrake on a bus or something and just getting everybody in the bus murdered by accident. And you'd be like,
it'd be an accident.
Involuntary manslaughter is what I would get a phone call for Liam doing.
For what am I doing though?
Anything irresponsible.
But what am I doing out here irresponsible?
Well, that's what I mean. You work from home, so if you forget to go to a meeting, nobody dies. Whereas if you're in any other line of work, with just how forgetful
what
you
we're
are.
saying, we're both, it's an accidental,
and
it's an accidental crime.
We're good people.
Yeah, we're good folk.
We'll just make a silly little mistake.
Silly mistakes.
Silly little mistake.
Silly billies.
Anyway, thank you for that, Splinter.
Great one, Splinter.
That was a good one.
As per usual.
So we've got some crazy stuff has happened, hasn't it? We're not going to delve back into the conspiracy world of the Diddies and such.
It could change so much by the time.
Because it could change so much. And we're going to solidify and stand down again on we said this. What was it? Something like 2-3 weeks before he was arrested.
Way before. I think at least a month before.
I know you especially been saying it for years, many people have.
In regards to the episodes that you may have listened to, it was beforehand and we were saying, he's next.
It feels like since we released that episode, every man and his dog's going, have you heard Beyonce's actually not a very nice person?
What were we saying?
Have you heard this? My fucking mum's coming up to me,
news.
like flipping through Facebook reels about conspiracies on Diddy and Jay-Z and all that. What's going on? I love it.
Been there, done that. My shirt doesn't say feel weird. It says been there, done that. Not been there, done that.
It's Mario Balotelli, why always me?
Been there, done that. Said it.
Right, but anyway, but we are going to go into some music industry knowledge, because, can you believe it, Liam?
Go on.
The end must be nigh, because it looks like, well, we've confirmed we've got a Tyler the Creator album coming. 28th of October. So by the time you might be hearing this.
By the time you heard this, it's long been out.
It's going to be out.
It's been out.
I don't even want to say the words. I don't want to say it.
Don't say it. He must not be named.
We might be getting a Frank Ocean album.
We might be getting a... Oh, there's not any around me. We might be getting a Frank... Oh, yeah. There you go.
I've got a Frank Ocean record behind me.
Frank Ocean record behind
me. The last one from fucking...
2016.
2016.
Disgusting.
That selfish bastard.
Selfish, that.
But, so that's 2. Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick on the horizon.
Fresh off his fat win of the rap beef of Drake. Hannah, that's for you.
Yep.
And off the back of Glastonbury, it looks like we're getting an album off him.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, sorry, yeah.
So next February is when the Super Bowl is. April time.
Name in the next 6 months.
You know what? No, because April might make sense, because Thingy released in April as well. Dan released in April 17th.
Oh, yeah.
And also, so did Mr. Morale. If Splinter was here, he could fact check it. I'm almost certain it also released in April.
Well, what I would also like him to fact check is, I've seen lots of theories that he's going to release it on Drake's birthday.
Oh,
can you remember when that is? Because I can't remember. It's the 24th of something.
Is it not October? Because October's very own. I think it's October.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? It rings a bell. Well, that's too soon then, isn't it? Yeah, can you imagine if in October we got Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, and then suddenly Frank Ocean?
drop any day now. Then it'd be close.
Collapse, Liam. I don't think I could go to
It'll
work
be very
again.
good, but we're not that loved
It's
by
not
our
going to happen.
artists.
But Tyler has always been.
Tyler's
been good to us.
one.
He's been good to us. Behind the camera, I'm looking directly in his eyes in a poster, and thank you.
Give him a kiss.
What is
Chromacopia.
Chromacopia.
Whatever that means.
I thought it was some kind of like thing onto his name, you know, Tyler Baudelaire or some kind of, I don't know, but it was weird. But have you seen that the green for the album cover is if you reverse that, it's the pink of ego?
Did not know that.
Mind blown.
Genius.
Mind blown.
Legendary.
And the 1.5-minute clip that he released.
Yeah. Frank Ocean, detected. Daniel Caesar, detected. Potentially some others we don't know about. I saw someone on TikTok trying to piece together the silhouettes of the guys.
Yes. Well, we don't know if they were intentional to try and play like the characters of.
Potentially.
Because there's like a Kendrick haircut, there's a Denzel Curry haircut, like there's all sorts.
One.
Yeah, there was a Kanye.
It's entirely possible. At the same time, if I was him, I would do the same thing. I would make you think, Piers Morgan's in my video. But it's actually just
Well,
not.
the thing is, Tyler's got that that rapport in the rap world. Anyone would jump on that album nowadays.
Of course they would.
And I feel like we were saying,
they're jumping on features unlisted.
Yeah.
Look, Jaden Smith. I was going to say Jaden Sancho.
Jaden Sancho on Flower Boy.
I have no idea what even looks like Jaden Sancho. Jaden Smith on Potholes on Flower Boy.
Yeah.
Unlisted.
Well, this is it. When Flower Boy came out, am I right in saying it was unlisted? And then he went back and did it. But on Igor, it's still not listed of all the features. It's still not on. Like Kanye West is on, I can't remember which one it is. But he's
Well, Kanye's doing that for years. All through Donda.
Yeah.
You were going, oh, is this the baby? Is this Playboy Cut? Is this whoever? You did not know. And I kind of respect it to have like just a dozen rappers on your tape.
But all I want to say is I ain't ready for a Tyler Creator album to have him, Frank Ocean,
Cold,
the likes of Denzel Curry. Daniel Caesar's one of my goats.
Andre 3K,
I'm convinced maybe. Andre 3K is going to be on there. I think James Blake's going to be on there. He's got all my heroes.
He will.
That album. This isn't going to be a big feel weird anymore. It's just going to be Chromacopia.
Yeah.
In like massive bold letters, and you're gonna every time you come and see me, I'm just gonna be licking it all day.
It would be a good on this wall.
Like,
that wall's falling out, by the way.
It is. Thanks.
The one that I put up.
Probably, yeah. The one you put up. You put a whole wall up, yeah.
No, I did this.
Just that panel that doesn't work
specifically, and that panel that's falling out.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So sick job. For
Absolutely.
Me,
well, anyway.
Anyway, keep it going.
But I've got to say, if that's all we get. No, I'm not. I was going to say I'd be happy. I would be happy.
I'd be happy. Whatever I can get at this point, I'm happy.
Absolutely. But Frank's let us down enough times. But was it Schoolboy Q that you said?
Yeah.
I did read it. I can't remember.
2 of my friends to go, something like that.
He
said,
2 to go. My friends are all dropping this year. 1 down, 2 to go.
And for background, for anyone who doesn't know, Schoolboy Q, part of TDE, formerly Kendrick's before PJ Lang, and his longtime collaborator. So it would make sense when he says my friends. And also he's friends with Kanye. Don't forget that part. That had Kanye on it. So
I'm getting sad and excited.
If his friends are Absol and someone else I don't care about, I'm going to be really mad.
Yeah.
Just
Black Thought is releasing an album.
Yeah.
Which would be sick. But
great. The Root's great. You've been around 25 years. I'm waiting on other people. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, ironically, even hearing Frank on that clip, that's the first Frank we've heard since 2020, you know?
Yeah,
even as a feature.
It will be.
Which is just sickening.
Terrible.
But
disappointing.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So what else we got? We've got, a Tribe Called Quest are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Finally.
Tribe Called Quest, the Midnight Marauders. Did you know my oldest music memory is of Tribe Called Quest?
Is it?
Did I tell you this?
Oh, wait. I think we did this on like the first episode.
It was because I said when we were talking about PS1 games.
No, it was albums, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sorry.
Because Thrasher, Skate and Destroy on PS1 had a really good like hip hop, boom bap, East Coast playlist on it. And one of them was Award Tour. Another one was Electronic Relaxation. I'm just forgetting what the name is now.
Yeah.
So there's like my first and earliest memories of music is Tribe. And the fact that this now 25 years later, they've been going since before I was born. And they're obviously now a member down. Five Dog's been dead since 2016, but that was their last album, 2016.
Yeah,
so for them to be immortalized in the Hall of Fame now.
It's about time, really, isn't it?
It's about time. So, and Chappelle.
Ozzy Osbourne went in the same day, I think, as well.
Did he go in yesterday?
Yeah.
He should have been in time ago as well. Like, what's the
guy's old as time.
He could have
How many bats you got to eat before you go in the Hall of Fame?
How many bats you got to eat?
Come on. That guy's done it. He's done everything it needed.
I want that on a t-shirt. How many bats can you eat before you get in the Hall of Fame? Do you know what I mean?
That's on our next range then, is it? Next range of merch.
1 bat.
Evidently one is the answer.
1 bat.
How many Ozzy Osbournes does it take to get in the Hall of Fame? How many bats eating does it take?
How many Tribe members need to die before you put them in? 1, I guess. So,
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, they're in, and I'm happy for it.
Before all of that, it looks like, did you see the clip of Kanye West's puppet show that was leaked?
Yes, I did. And I think it looked...
the hell
it
was
looked
that?
like it's the same thing as always, where something leaks, and then the artist or whoever goes, "You're not having it then." And I kind of respect it because it
But
doesn't
wasn't it from ages ago?
Well, it was filmed, they said MTV,
Like 10
I think
years
it was,
ago.
yeah, gave him $1 million for it. He actually met Kim Kardashian on that because he said he wanted to Kim on it because he was like, "She's got the perfect ass, I need her." Quote by him. And he got her on it. And then, a puppet show. But then I think it's because of that time. I don't know if you would have seen them. There's very famous Kobe and LeBron adverts that they did for Nike where they have puppets that look identical.
Right.
And they do little sketches between them. And it was around this time.
Yeah.
So I think they thought puppets are going to be massive.
Well, is this not...
But like comedy kind of...
Is it like 2008, 2009?
Yeah.
When was Team America World Police?
Oh, that's...
Is that like 2004 or 05 or something?
04, 06, yeah, around that time.
I was going to
so
say...
it's just after that.
Yeah.
But I think it's still at the start of like more adult humor in kids format puppets, which would be Sesame Street forever. But now they're like,
because there's a part of me that can't settle knowing that we got a Kanye West puppet show and we're going to get a Kendrick Lamar fucking South Park creators comedy show.
I know.
Before we get a Frank Ocean album.
Well, of course you will. You'll get everything under the sun. We'll be making bags from this show.
BTS will be on the 30th album by then anyway.
BTS will be on this show before Frank Ocean drops.
On this show.
We'll have all 7 of them on this show.
We're going to have Jungkook sat in between us.
Yeah. We will sit on the floor where we deserve to be. And we'll have all 7 of them mic'd up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though most of them are still in military.
Yeah.
They'll all be out of military and on this show before Frank goes.
Yeah, but they're making more music than doing sit-ups and training, if you ask me.
If you're a K-pop fan, you're eating good. They're in the military. Before I go though, here's 3 albums, 2 music videos, 11 performances, all this merch and stuff. Can I get a bite?
Frank Ocean sat at home, stroking his dogs, literally.
Is that a euphemism?
I wasn't supposed to be
because of his dog jewelry.
Oh, and in fact, he's released more diamond encrusted cock rings, hasn't he? Than albums in the last 4 years.
No headline will surprise me that isn't to do with music. Frank Ocean is passionate about astrology and he's going to go into that. I go, fair, of course he is. He's going to NYU to study it for 5 years. Yeah. Cool. Of course he is. Because he'd rather do that than just give us a song.
Than just release music for his fans that love him and
sing
care about him.
Happy Birthday, record it and post it on SoundCloud for me to listen to.
Have you heard, this was not planned.
Go on.
Have you heard Baby Keem's Happy Birthday?
No, I've not.
Oh,
and we can't play it
because of
everything's set up. But is it different melody?
I'll show you after. You've got to put it in a clip. He literally, Happy birthday, bitch. I got a gift for you. It's my dick. I swear to God, I've got it saved on my phone.
I
think it's a voice note for Kendrick Lamar that he leaked.
Oh. So you'd be saying that at his own uncle or cousin? I don't think it would be.
No.
Because that would be a bit weird that you go, you know what? I shouldn't have brought you up with me.
Hey,
that's
cousin,
a very select...
do you want my dick for your birthday?
Yeah, that's a very select birthday message. That's not a family and friends birthday message.
Either way, it's fantastic. And
I want to hear it.
I want it. You'll be getting it for your birthday.
I was just going to say, my
birthday's coming up
not
December,
too far
everybody.
away.
Send your gifts in.
Send your gifts to Sam.
Address noted at the bottom.
Yeah, please put my address on the screen as it now.
Publicise your address.
Yeah. If you're on Spotify, listen to this. Don't send me anything. Listen to this and share it with your grandma.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I mean, I don't think there is any other more music world, is it?
Not any more music news, no. I think that was the main... The stuff we cared about anyway. More stuff's going on.
Well, we got... as a segue, because we want to do a bit of film stuff.
Go on.
We finally got the trailer for Pharrell Williams' Lego film. Is the film out?
Out, G. Film's out.
In cinema?
Been out. Seen clips from it on TikTok. Looks good. It's got all sorts of people showing up.
Yeah, I know everyone's in it.
Kendrick's in it.
Kendrick's in it. Snoop's in it.
They show the... how they did All Right. You know when he's like floating and he's on top of lampposts and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's in it.
Which is funny because I saw so many people saying that they didn't know that All Right was Pharrell Williams.
I did. But the 4-bar
That's
count
his thing.
Is here the da, 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 da. And then he obviously does the hook. He does the...
We gon' be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he does all that. And once you know it's Pharrell, you go, of course it is, because it sounds...
Do you not do that with so many songs, though?
Like
was it you that I was showing that Swedish House Mafia tune to the other week?
Which one?
It was a tune from like 2009. The I Wanna Know Your Name.
Big fat tune.
Yeah, and it's Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know this.
Didn't know that for like 15 years. And the second someone said it, you hear it and you're like,
it's the same thing with...
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake's the most famous song of Black Eyed Peas. And you
Where's Love?
Of course that isn't Fergie or anyone else, because it only sounds
it's
like JT.
So obviously not Fergie when you know.
Yeah.
But no one would have ever thought
voice.
that.
It's a white dude's voice.
And here's a fun fact, which I know you'll know, but the audience will not know.
Tell him.
What was Justin Timberlake paid millions for in the
McDonald's.
2000s? There you go.
Thank you.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
But that flawless rendition, by the way. But yeah, brush those eyelids. That was with Pharrell, wasn't it? Pharrell was the one who actually produced he's the one who got the jingle going.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Composed said jingle.
I was going to say composed, and I thought that feels a little bit too...
It does. The word composed doesn't feel... It feels unfair when you're putting it along things like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it feels like it's...
I'm loving it.
But this is the thing,
composed.
though, that this is going to be such a random quick tangent off this, that when they say it's only big and iconic and amazing because we know it to be, at the time, it sounds crap. Like I saw someone shared their DMs, they're a designer, and they said, I want something like the Nike swoosh, I want something iconic. And like, it doesn't matter what I make you. It's only iconic because it's been iconic for 70 years. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't just happen. Like, this logo means nothing unless what it's attached to. It
means everything.
It means everything. And I pointed for people listening. The logo on the wall behind us.
It's a big feel.
But do you know what
logo.
I mean? There's no logo I can make for someone as a designer.
Yeah.
Is going to have
instantaneously.
It's like, there's your Nike swoosh. And they're going to go, that's it.
Yeah.
It's only because you need to do that.
You're not going to show the Jordan logo to some like unfound tribe.
No.
And them go, fucking hell, it's Michael Jordan.
They might actually, though.
Yeah, that's possible.
He's pretty big time.
Well, have you seen when David Beckham went into all of the forest on his like bike tour and everyone was like, it's fucking David Beckham.
He's in Papua New Guinea and they're doing a Manc accent saying,
literally,
that's our United lad.
He's like blokes in straw skirts going, hey, bend it like Beckham. Well in. Fucking,
that's a class film.
Like,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Phillips. So what I wanted to talk about, because we've not spoke about it since it's come out. We spoke about when the trailer came out.
For what?
Joker 2.
Yeah.
So
apparently Bobbins.
I haven't seen it.
I am yet to also see it, and I am not itching to see it.
Yes.
Because I don't love a musical.
Well,
especially on something that I really enjoyed the first one.
Absolutely.
But I'm yet to see a review of someone going, they killed it. Do you know?
Yeah, they literally killed it. Like,
they killed it.
It's died and no one wants to ever see it resurrected.
Yeah. Todd Phillips said, I'm out. He said, I ain't doing DC no more.
I don't think he wanted to make the second one in the first place.
You think the studio was
forced to because of how much money it made?
I think so. It was
because they were going to kill the Joker off in the first film.
Yeah. I think they could have. I think as a one and done, it's perfect on its own.
Yeah. I definitely don't think Joaquin Phoenix was expecting to make a second one.
No.
But apparently it's him that went, oh, in a dream, I think fucking we should do this musical idea. And everyone went, yeah, fine, go on. Go for it. And they just let him run off with it and it's not been good.
No.
But for a recap for all of our listeners, when this... Actually, the trailer must have come out like...
time ago by now.
Yeah, but anyway, we watched it before we went fresh onto an episode and we talked about it.
We were so excited.
The trailer looked sick.
Yeah.
Trailer really good.
That was before we knew it was a
fully fledged,
a big musical.
Yeah.
You know,
we thought it was just going to be some kind of like weird, demented, lucid dream phase, didn't we? Which ironically would have been perfect.
Would have been really good.
But apparently it's completely over the top. But yeah, I'm the same. It literally was my favourite film of the year when it came out. I'm saying that. Was that the same year as Endgame?
No.
I think it's 2019, wasn't it?
Maybe you're right.
Either way, it was in a run of films.
It was in that year.
Was like, oh my God, they were just belters. But anyway, I was really excited to watch it, and the second it came out, and I'm the same as you. Normally, the reviews, I don't really care.
No, I don't buy into them.
I don't really.
Certainly not critic reviews, but I listen to audience reviews a bit more.
Yes, but it was the types of reviews we were getting. I mean, God, people want their money back, don't they? Like it.
When I see
bad.
People that I follow that are comic book nerds who love anything comic book films, and they go, "That is arse." Then I go,
when Wonder Woman 2 comes out, and they're like, "That film slaps."
Yeah, I knew it was.
I'm like, right, well, it's probably Bobbins, but like
it was Bobbins.
But when they think Joker 2 is bad,
yeah, you know it's bad.
Ooh,
you know it's bad.
That's not good. It's not good, is it?
No.
But yeah, I definitely ain't going to be paying money to go and watch that. I'll wait till it comes out.
Have I got a stick on the back of this?
You do have a stick on the back of this.
I was just looking.
But it's a bit sideways now today because of a new setup.
Oh, good. So that's going to be ruined for everyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you're enjoying this on a video,
yeah. Sorry about the unaesthetic.
The unaesthetic
sticker going sideways.
Yeah, if you bother by that kind of stuff. Anyway,
but Liam's normally juggling his microphone anyway, so normally just expect it.
I mess around with it too much. I'm leaving it alone today. I'm just talking into it.
Oh God.
What else we got?
Anyway, I want to talk a little bit of sports stuff. And again, I think it's perfect to do this because I know you don't give a fuck about football. We've discovered this. We know this. And some people even like me forcing you to talk about football.
Some people like me not liking it.
Exactly. But one of the benefits of that is getting your opinion on something completely like...
Oh, Steve Tuchel.
I'm going to predict that you meant Thomas Tuchel.
That's who I meant.
Oh my God.
I was really close.
Do you know?
Steve T-Shell.
Steve T-Shell. Steve the T-Shell.
Who sells his shoe sales on the
By
seashore.
the T-shore.
By the T-shore, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
the England coach.
For people who care.
Manager.
And people who don't care. England, after Gareth Southgate, future Sir Gareth Southgate, people have got their opinions on him. That they love him or they hate him, but he got us farther than we've ever got before.
Twice.
Well, multiple times. We got to final twice, but the semi-final, his first one was the furthest we got in 20, 30 years.
Okay.
Anyway.
Carry on.
We've got the best crop of England players we've had for years, if not ever had.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted the best.
Yep.
There's a guy called Lee Carsley that's been interim manager for the last few months.
Who's that?
And he was
Wait,
Gareth
why is he the
Southgate's-
manager if they're not playing? What are you managing for?
They do. They have, well, see, this is perfect. This sums up. They play outside of tournaments, Liam. They have these crappy little international breaks that no one gives a shit about. And they've
Friendlies?
Yeah, some of them. A lot of them are qualifiers for a tournament. But they've even created this thing called the Nations League, which I don't know if you've probably not heard of. Of course you haven't heard of.
Is that different from the Super League?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Very different. But and it's basically a new tournament to try and make these friendlies more competitive, and nobody cares about it. Even the players are like, we already play too much. Everyone's snapping their ACLs left, right and centre because we play too many games.
Or dying on the pitch like that guy from
Christian Eriksen, yeah.
whatever team.
Yeah.
He came back to life though.
He got man of the match for United the other week, so yes, he's
Well,
definitely
there we go.
alive.
Then my comment was not
I mean,
too harsh.
It was 4 years ago, so
I'm way
3
out
years
there.
ago.
That's
Yeah.
the most modern football
Yeah,
thing I've had.
you don't really do post Barclays era, so fair play. Fair
I'm still
play.
in the Coca-Cola League. That's my
The Carling
bag.
Cup.
That's my bag.
Remember the Carling Cup? Didier Drogba was up front for Chelsea. That's your era, really, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
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 Anyway, so
Go
we've
on.
got an interim manager who was Gareth Southgate's assistant. And this guy's been hilarious. He literally, like, every time they interview him, he's like, I don't care about the media. I don't really want this job. I just want to be, like, coaching the background. And everyone's like, should Lee Carsley get the job? And he's like, I don't want it. I don't want
His
the
last
job.
name's Carling.
Lee Carsley.
Cool.
Lee Carsley. Anyway, so, but the big debate that I want to get your input on, because it's what's really split the nation.
Tell me.
And when I say split the nation, I don't mean all the Brexit racists that are like, get this German man out.
Flawless
I
impressions
mean,
always.
the fact that basically, long story short, the likes of Gary Neville and a lot of like high-level pundits, they've got the point of there's not enough English managers. Did you know an English manager has never won the Premier League? We're the only country.
Premier League's been going around since like
Well, the Premier League's been from
12 AD.
1992.
Close.
1992 is the Premier League.
Okay.
So before that, it was just the first
Coca-Cola
division or
League.
whatever. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was before that was the first division. So since 1992. But
Okay.
still, that's 32
That
years.
is bad, that.
We've
That is
never,
mad.
and everyone thinks because of the likes of Ferguson and like, ironically, loads of Scottish managers have done well, but no English managers have done well.
That's
And if you
surprising.
even think about English managers in the Premier League right now, I could probably think of 3 or 4 off the top of my head.
What about Big Sam Allardyce?
He's not managing at the moment, I don't think.
Is he dead?
He's definitely not dead. Somehow he's not dead. Somehow that massive rhino heart of his is still going. It's still going.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, speaking of which, did you know he got the England job once?
No.
He got the England job and he was sacked after 1 game.
How?
Do you know
He
why?
lose 11-0.
He's technically got the best win rate because he won his one and only game.
Go on.
A secret reporter had a secret camera filming him talking about how to dodge agency fees and some dodgy like tax stuff
That
with
is
signing players,
so slimy.
which was the biggest bag drop because this guy had been like his whole life. Everyone was like, Sam Allardyce isn't really England manager material, and he got it. Dropped the bag. Dropped the bag big time.
I'd be fuming at that reporter for stitching me up like that.
But if anything, that's a perfect example because Sam Allardyce,
It wouldn't have been
great
good.
manager in his day. He's a specific type of manager. He's the manager you want when you want to be saved from getting relegated, but you don't win your titles. If that's the best England could do, it was a worrying time.
That is bad.
Then we got Southgate, things got a bit better. But point remains, you take Southgate anywhere else, it's not going to go very well.
Ask me the question.
The question is, do you think it's right that instead of supporting English talent, when there isn't much of it, they've given it to an international manager
From?
Germany?
Okay. Depends how you feel about the war. It depends how recent of a bother that is for you. But overall, I said from someone who's unbothered about football, we would obviously like to see England win, obviously.
Yeah.
I get it both sides. If
Yes.
you're someone who's passionately for it should be an English manager repping England, I totally get it. But at the same time, if you're someone saying best person for the job should get the job, I'm also with it. I asked Dan this and she had a really good perspective. And I said, I'm going to pass that off as my own opinion. Do you want to know what it is?
What, two class English pundits there? You and your wife have never watched a game of football?
I've watched at least 8 football matches. Definitely less than 10.
Yeah, they were all in the last 2 international
they were all
tournaments.
in the last two tournaments. And I can't remember what she said, but it was something really thought-provoking.
Fucking fascinating, that, mate. What a really good, insightful point that Danielle made.
Should this be on, when this eventually gets to TikTok, it'll be below.
Are you going to stitch it in?
Nah, I'll try and throw it in there, because
okay.
I don't remember what she deserves credit, because it was something clever. And I went, that's a good shout.
Speaking of you talking about the war, what I found hilarious is when you go on like Talk Sports and all these radio shows and people are phoning in, giving their 2p about
2p, that's how it's pronounced.
But, and there was this, and it's so funny listening to blokes who are so clearly 58 and called Dave, and fat and bald, who don't want to say that they're racist.
I get it.
But because again, ironically, I do genuinely see both sides, and it's fuck all to do with the fact that he's German or whatever like that. It is just
because
the
of
people
the
on that side. No, the people on that side are just because English coaching has gone downhill so much that we need to be giving opportunities to them.
Why don't we give it to,
at the end of the day,
Football Manager like players?
People who play the game Football Manager.
Yeah, who have a world ranked leaderboard on anything you do.
Did you know there was a manager in France?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and he was like 34 in English and a ginger.
How did it go?
He did quite well, actually.
Well, there we go. Why are we not doing that?
Quite well. And do you know what? I'll give you a rough figure because I can't remember the figure.
Go on.
But because he didn't have his UEFA coaching badges, which is illegal to do to have a job like that, every time they played a game,
you got fined.
The club had to pay something like €30,000. But because he was doing better than they'd ever done.
But why didn't he just get his badges then?
Because it takes years.
Why?
Because it's a career.
You can't just apply for it.
What do you mean you can't get a medical degree in 10 minutes? It's like, it's the same thing. It's like
getting a medical degree is saving lives.
It's definitely saving lives and it's definitely a lot harder. But
Sam
still.
Kappa, here's my application. Here's a picture of me. Here's my last 3 workplaces and where I live. And bosh, send it off.
I don't think Own Bargains and fucking the Jaffa Cake Factory is the good CV for a fucking international manager. Not that that's my CV, because it's
potentially not.
But anyway, sorry. So the point is, when people were phoning in, they're being like, well, it's not because he's international, it's because he's German. And the guys were like, well, what difference does it make? And he's like, because the Germans and the Argentinians are our only rivals in football. And the guy was actually like, that's because of the wars.
It's because of the wars.
It's because of the wars, Jim. It's nothing to do. He was like, no, it's not. It's because of Maradona in the 80s and all this.
Isn't it mad to say that Argentina, if you're a rival, if they're winning stuff and we're not?
Well, we never fucking play Argentina anymore. Last time, I can't remember the last time we played Argentina, but he was saying, we're rivals.
Recently?
No, we haven't. But this guy was saying, Argentina are our rivals because you will even remember David Beckham got sent off because of that documentary. David Beckham got sent off in the 90s and it's like, we got knocked out in that game. Maradona, the hand of God, all this stuff. But like, let's be honest, if we didn't go to fucking war with them, we wouldn't be calling them rivals, would we? So he was because it's the other thing is why it's been like a big debate is because everyone was going, oh, Pep Guardiola, if we can get Pep Guardiola, that'd be sick. And then because we've not got a Spanish, we've got a Spaniard, we've got a German, everyone's kicking off about it. But the point being, he has won the Champions League.
With who?
Chelsea.
When?
3 years ago.
I thought they're nearly getting relegated.
Chelsea? No. Chelsea have been garbage, but they're still...
Oh,
the point is, they're the ones who have spent like $500 million and just bought like 30 players and have just like lobbed them all on the pitch and expected them to do something.
Interesting. Good tactic.
Ironically, they're doing pretty good now.
Oh.
But anyway... the point being, he's signed on merit, but half the people that care about this are going, I don't care, I want the best man for the job, I want to win. And the other half are going, I'd rather not win and be.
That is dumb.
It's just dumb. This same guy was like, it's fucking over for me. I've paid 300 fucking quid for all the tracksuits in the last few years and they're all going in the fucking bin. If they win the fucking World Cup, if they win the World Cup, I won't be fucking celebrating. Is it that deep?
Cancel it.
Is it that deep?
Steve from Bournemouth isn't celebrating. Cancel the tournament. Don't even put your name in.
Oh my God. Don't even bother competing. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I can't get behind that, to be honest. I get football's your life. I'm cool with it. That's fine. But that is extra. That is very dead.
Yeah.
Do you want to check that's still going, by the way?
It is still going.
Yeah, that is very dead.
Yeah. So what's your general opinion very quickly then?
Whoever's best at the job, have a crack at it. And should that also fail, maybe it's on the players. Maybe it's on everyone else's. It's a competitive game. Don't just assume because we created it, we should be the best at it.
Well,
there's a lot of good players out there.
You know, the golden generation that is kind of Barclays era, the ones that you'll think of, the Gerrards, Lampards, Rooney's, Owens, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about that as the golden generation. How did they not win everything? Do you know what everyone forgets?
They didn't get as far as the current squad did.
No, they didn't, to be fair. But the other thing is, the same era, Ronaldinho, Brazilian Ronaldo, Kaká, Roberto Carlos,
there you go.
Zinedine Zidane. Like Henry, France's team was unreal. They won loads. Brazil's team was unreal. They won loads.
Yeah.
France dominated Europe. Brazil dominated the world tournaments. That's why we didn't fucking win anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but also,
our best isn't the best, but it was our best.
So switch on to a sport I prefer just for a quick moment.
Squash.
Squash, love squash.
Basketball for our audio listeners.
The same thing with the USA when they're fighting against the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of the world play with each other a lot more than the USA because the USA squad is so competitive because it's obviously got the best. You've got one guy from that team, maybe two guys from that team. It's such a mixed bag and they're playing with each other, against each other all year and not trying to give away their secrets, their plays, their whatever. So it's difficult for them to play together, even though they really want to win. Whereas the rest of the world, the whole Spanish team, they're all on one team. The whole team of like Jokic and his guys, they are all, apart from him, because obviously he's in the league, they're all on, their starting five is all on one team playing in Europe.
Right.
So a lot of them, you know, other teams in FIBA, Basketball World Cup, whatever, or Olympics, they've been playing together for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Where the whole USA squad is playing against each other for years and years. So it's kind of maybe similar where in the Prem, a lot of these guys, they're not trying to share secrets and they're not used to each other's chemistry.
You don't even realise how amazing of an example you've just made.
Come on.
And because of that same golden generation in England, all of them now are obviously mates because they're all pundits and stuff. And that every one of them has pretty much come out and gone, I think the biggest problem was we hated each other.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, like the United boys were winning everything.
They didn't want to pass
boys,
to the
Chelsea boys,
to the Scousers who didn't want to play with the...
Ferdinand was always going, he was like, we'd get to England camp and Fergie would be like, you're not sitting next to Gerrard.
Yeah. I remember
do you know what I mean? There's loads of it. And even if he didn't...
Liverpool, Everton table, the City table,
it'd be just
the
division
Arsenal
in the
table.
squad.
Yeah.
Whereas what everyone has said is whatever you think about Gareth Southgate, everybody fucking loves going to the England camp now. Ferdinand's been asking players, like current players, and they're like, yeah, we love going to England camp. And he was like, we used to hate it because you just go and it'd just be awkward as fuck because they're our rivals. I don't want him seeing how I train, seeing how I play, learning my tricks, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
what I'm saying.
Whereas Spain, they won the Euro 2008, the World Cup 2010, and then the Euros again 2012. Never been done.
That's a mega
insane run.
With a lot of the same squad.
Their 11 was basically Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Kaká.
I literally just said he was Brazilian Kaká like 2 seconds ago as well. And you were
Francesco Totti.
Yeah, that very Spanish name. Italian.
Yeah.
But
Pau Gasol.
Who?
Basketball player. He's Spanish. I got the right country.
Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol.
Oh.
Yeah, you. Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol. Is he the one that Kobe fucking shoved out of the way?
Yes, he is actually. Yeah, nice.
Ball knowledge.
Unlike me.
Yeah, but that Spain team was literally all Real Madrid and Barcelona. And there's similar stories about how they squashed the beef. Because they hated each other as well.
Squash it.
But like, Iker Casillas was the Real Madrid captain and Xavi was the Barcelona captain.
Iker Casillas, I know who that is.
There you go. And they literally, the stories
David Villa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Same team. They literally got in a room and apparently like, look, we need to wrap this up, nip it in the bud because it's getting in the way.
Iniesta.
And he scored the winning goal in the World Cup final, 2010.
There we go then.
You've told me about that goal before.
Why?
Because you know about it. Just even proving that you know anything about it, you've told me about that
South
goal.
Africa World Cup.
Yes.
Come
on.
Ball knowledge.
I'm
murking it today. Get me a football quiz right now.
There you go. Iniesta retired literally like 2 weeks ago. The man's 40.
That's my knowledge gone now.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm really relying on this.
He was playing in
generation
Japan as well, which is bonkers.
The epicenter of football, they say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Go on, keep it going.
Anyway.
Should we move it on?
I was going to say, I think we can move on. We've got a couple of little bits that we were going to talk about. Robot racism I really wanted to discuss because that's been making me howl. You know, all the AI robots. Clankers. Get them clankers out. Because I've seen...
that's the funniest possible word for robot racism.
Do you know what's funny as well? I don't know about you. When you first saw that word clankers, you were like, perfect.
It's perfect.
Fucking perfect. It feels so offensive.
Derogatory.
It feels offensive.
If I was a robot or an AI, I'm going to ask ChatGPT when I get home and go, do you find clankers offensive? And he goes, only I get to say clankers. Me and my clankers.
It's going to be like, you can't say that word to me. So for context, Elon
That's so
Musk and
funny.
Tesla and all this, they're releasing all these AI
Stop saying
robots.
Tesla. We did a whole thing on this.
I'm saying Tesla. It's not
Carry on.
Tesla. I'm not doing
It's
it.
exactly what
I'm
it
not
is.
fucking doing it.
Go
Same
on.
way that it's Margaret Demar, not Margaret Demar.
You sound like a clanker.
The map is wrong. Yeah, exactly. I'm a human clanger.
Go on.
Anyway, and then obviously they all look exactly like iRobot, and it's super dystopian and really freaky and all this. And they're having conversations with him, and it definitely sounds like some blokes on the phone around the corner answering the questions because it's super realistic.
Yep.
It's not like Siri going, hello, like it's just super weird.
That's good.
Yeah, but anyway, I've seen too many memes of like a TikTok of some bloke pretending he was on the phone going, in the year's 2052. I don't care. I don't care if he's a nice robot. My daughter's not bringing that fucking clanker in this house. And I was fucking howling.
Oh, I love it.
Because
I love it. It's my favourite thing.
It took the world like fucking 2 days to make memes
This is
about.
what's going to bring racism to an end.
It is, because we're all going to team up against them.
Because we're going to go, you know what? We're humans, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't like you because I'm from this side of the world, and I don't like you because you're that colour and you're from that side of the world, we both hate
us versus
clankers.
them.
We
Us
both
versus
hate
them.
the clankers.
Exactly.
This is how Terminator
And that's why
started.
the film The Creator is perfect as well.
Yeah, come around my
We
gaff,
still
we'll
haven't
see
watched it together, don't you worry,
Waiting
but
on
I've
you.
seen it and it's worth it.
Oh, clankers.
Yeah, so we want to get on that. But anyway.
Me and my clankers.
Me and my clankers.
Clankers in Paris. You just broke that trying to laugh. Oh,
I don't even know what I knocked off and broke, but it was fucking worth it.
Good stuff.
Ruined that for me now. Anyway,
Yeah,
should
go
we
on.
move on to our game segment?
Let's move it on to our main segment.
Okay, so we've wanted to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Me and Liam are avid, loyal fans
Yeah.
of the sitcom genre.
Big time.
Are we not?
Well, we've seen a lot of them.
We've seen a lot of them.
A lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones.
A lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones. We've got a lot of opinions, obviously, as we always do. And whether you care about them or not, we're going to spew them now.
We are. We've got a tier maker, sample it up. We've got a tier list ready to go. If you're listening to this, then you can still enjoy it. But if you're watching this, then certainly they'll be on screen in some capacity.
Yes, but we're going to try and make it as accessible for our audio listeners as possible.
We've got 20 shows, minus Simpsons, because we said we're going to do a separate one for cartoon.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a quick, Sam's going to say the name of the show. We're going to do a 3, 2, 1, and both give our listing from S to D tier. D's the bottom.
So we've got Superior, and then we've got A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. So we're going to do show 1, 3, 2, 1, say our letter, and then we're going to discuss briefly, because my God, this will be a 90,
could go on
90-year episode.
Yeah. And before we fall out about it, we need to stress we're going to have to be really ruthless on this.
We're going to have to be, even though a lot of these are S tier. And also there's some of these shows which I know better than you, and some of these shows which you know for sure better than me. So we're just going to have to take a lead on that. Take it away with the first one, please.
Okay. And again, these are in no order.
No order,
just to
particularly.
clarify. The first one is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. 3, 2, 1. S tier.
Get it in S.
It's not a fucking doubt in my mind. And to be honest, I don't even know if we need to fucking talk about it.
I honestly don't think we need to. There's no show that makes me laugh my arse off like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And no show that does, hold on, diversity and inclusion in such a seamless way.
Yeah, it doesn't feel forced at all.
It does not feel forced. And I'm not someone who thinks, oh, this is a bit forced.
Yeah.
But it's just a flawlessly written show. It makes me, I've just finished my third rewatch of it, top to bottom, and I'm still laughing at jokes. I know when the punchline is. I know what's going to happen.
I honestly agree.
I mean?
I think it's the one I've rewatched the most.
It's so
considering
good.
I think there's 8 series in there. I've definitely watched them top to bottom well over 15, 20 times.
The sad thing is, though, they did, I think it was with, who was it? I can't remember, but the original production company.
Oh, yeah.
They, after 5 seasons, they canned it, but they did 22, 22, 22, 22. And then they got picked up for 3 more seasons, whatever. And then they only did 15. And then the last series only got 10 episodes. That's a show they could have ran for 15 years.
They really could. But again, I feel like...
But it's perfect.
As we'll get into, some sitcoms don't wrap
they
it
rinse
up
it
very well.
You're rinsing the towel.
Yeah. But the likes of Peralta leaving the force to become a dad.
Yeah.
And
that's the whole thing, because Terry said to Holt in the first episode,
hit me with
Peralta's the best detective. The only thing he's not yet figured out is how to become an adult.
How to grow up.
And then the last thing is when Holt says to Peralta, if I had a son and he turned out like you, I'd be very proud of him. And the whole thing is that he didn't have his dad, a father figure. Yeah. Holt becomes that because he keeps calling him dad by accident. And it ties such a lovely little bow.
Fantastic character arc.
Run it up, next one.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else to say
So
on
there
it.
isn't.
S-tier.
And I quote it all the time as well.
Of course.
Anyway, next, it is the US Office. 3, 2, 1. S.
I think it has to go S again.
It has to,
and I hate
really,
to say
doesn't it?
S is, and it almost feels cliche because every man and his dog's seen it now. And I don't want to be one of those, I've been watching it for way longer than you.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a show where I could do a trivia and do better than in any other show than the US Office, because I've seen it so much.
Yeah, same.
And although the first couple of seasons are not amazing because they tried to copy the British one.
It's only the first one.
The
first series is the one that's a bit painful.
Then it gets slow, the ball gets rolling.
Mm-hmm.
The acting's great, the show's funny as hell.
Yeah.
But you actually care about this one. In other shows, I'm like, this is a funny show, but I don't care about any of you.
This is it. And to be fair, when I first completely rinsed it, I didn't even notice it going downhill a little bit when the likes of Michael left and stuff like that.
No,
and to be honest,
I still enjoyed it.
I still don't really care. I enjoyed it, but it's only when you read other people's opinions on it where they think it bombed and all that. But I was that bought into the characters, which I think is obviously a compliment of the writers. Didn't give a shit. Like Andy Dwyer, like fucking, you be the manager. I like you. I want to see what happens with you. All this shit.
Yeah.
So that's another one. I mean, to be fair, I almost worry looking at this list now. I'm going to say to every one of them, I've watched this one more than I've watched any of the others.
I know, we're going to have to do a lot of that gatekeeping. But also, there's a lot of these where...
Not more than you. I just mean I've watched that more than the others.
I get what you're saying.
Because I still rewatch that one all the time. And the other reason why I think this one's a little bit of a grey area is because I was going to say that style of mockumentary ran. Walked so others could run.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like that's a bit of an unfair statement because it literally copied the UK Office.
It did. But then it branched off and did its own thing. It was more successful.
So,
it's one of the few times a US show other than British was better. Yeah. But it did also run a lot longer. There was only 3 seasons of the UK.
But to be fair, I think it had way more legs to go as well. Because I watched the UK one first and I loved it. And for a while, I preferred it.
Yeah.
But
James prefers it.
Does he? Yeah, I can believe it. But it's such a British humour, isn't it?
It is big time.
But to be fair, the first series of the US Office I thought was a bit painful because it was literally carbon copy.
It is.
And it's only when they stopped trying to be that. And it was when Michael stopped trying to be awkward.
It's also when Michael stops being the most hated person. Like the whole thing when he's promising them a big surprise and it's like a bunch of chalk ices. You're like, we want to really like him.
When you feel sorry for him, it's brilliant then.
Oh no, because it's such a well-written show.
Like the basketball episode when they're in the factory. If David Brent was doing that, even though it's painful and awkward and British humour, I wouldn't enjoy it.
No.
But when Michael's doing it,
it's a different story.
It shouldn't be roll on the floor laughing funny when Michael goes for a 3-pointer and just like smashes a window. But I was
and
howling.
He shouts 3-pointer every time he does it.
He's like wet.
For someone who plays ball, no one shouts 3-pointer when they're about to shoot.
And when someone else shoots and scores and he's like, I was open.
Yeah, it's very weird, the whole Jim can play though.
Yeah.
Jim was all right. He gets a little nice wrap around behind the back on Roy. He's all right.
Him and Roy have a little bit of a
thingy, but go on, keep going.
But anyway, we'll move on because I think those GOAT ones are they don't need arguing for.
They're solidified.
Now the next one, I'm not sure what I'm going to say myself, and I'm not happy with what I'm going to say.
Go on.
But the next one is What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, B.
Oh, I think also I've only seen it through once. I've been watching it as it's come out. And I love the show. It is so for every single person I've turned that show onto, FX owes me a check.
Yeah.
Because every person I put it onto,
including
you.
Yeah, it's you to me.
And everyone else, they've gone, that is the funniest show. It's so unique. And there's nothing wrong with it. A is still you're just not the creme de la creme. You're a good show. And speaking of which, the new series has already come out. I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't even know that.
Come out last week.
I'm so excited for that.
I haven't seen it.
Do you know what? I'm immediately going to backtrack and say A.
A's the way it feels about right.
And to be honest, I mean, sorry, are you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished. Go ahead.
Because what I will say is, I'm going to go and whack that in A. The only reason I convinced myself B is because I'm looking at the list and I'm thinking they can't all be A and S.
I agree.
Just because it's the newest.
But this is the thing that all these shows, I mean, bar some which I'm ready to put in D or F. Bar these shows, the only reason they're here is because I've watched it. I'm not going to watch a show I don't enjoy. Do you know what I mean? Of course. So that's why they're where they are.
And let's be fair as well. I don't think... There might be a few that some people argue about, but all of these are considered
the best.
The best of the best. Not
the best. The most popular.
The most popular, that's a good way of putting it.
Everything bar Seinfeld.
Yeah, absolutely. But but I will say, I've already rewatched these top to bottom so many times. It's not been out that long.
Yeah.
It's such a unique show.
It's a great show.
And again, ironically, perfect to say after The Office, because The Office walked, so shows like this could run. A mockumentary about vampires. Perfect. Can you imagine telling someone 20 years ago that was a thing?
It would sound awful. It
would
be awful 20 years ago.
Exactly. And ironically, I do think it's a bit of a Marmite show because Lils hates it, but like...
She has no taste.
Lils loves mockumentaries, apparently. I don't believe
Fresh
it.
Meat.
Yeah, Fresh Meat's not a mockumentary.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Which one am I thinking of?
Well, she hasn't seen The Office.
Oh, that's
bad. The mockumentary.
That is bad.
She's the only one she's watched is This Country. The British one.
Yeah, I love This Country.
Which is great, but like...
I didn't have that on the list, actually.
Yeah.
You need to watch This Country, you'd like it.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Go on, next one.
Anyway, yeah, so just to summarise,
yeah, go on.
I think it's a super unique show.
Great show.
If we could arguably categorise all these sitcoms into types of show, and that one would be in its own. And that's why I do think...
Super unique.
That's why I think, fuck what I said first, that deserves to be up there.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's not in S is because it's brand new.
Brand new.
In the grand scheme of things.
You need to give it a bit more time. Let it sizzle.
It needs to stand the test of time. Next.
Go.
I feel like we're going to fall out on this one.
Go on. What are you saying?
Community. 3, 2, 1. C.
B, but it's a really strong B for me. There's like a high tier of B, and I'm like up there in B because I love the show. I've seen it many times, and it's a really creative, well-written show. For many reasons, I really, really rate it, and I like the characters. Even when Childish Gambino leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not Childish Gambino, I guess, in the show. He's Donald Glover.
Yeah, of course.
Even when Donald Glover leaves and Chevy Chase leaves, I still really love this show. And that's all I've got to say on it.
Well, this is the thing.
But I'm not ready to put it in A.
I switched, while we were counting down 3, 2, 1, I was going to say B, but I thought, no, it's... And again, only because it doesn't deserve to be on the pedestals of the other ones for me.
No.
I have watched Community quite a few times, but it's one of those shows that you find yourself watching just because it's on.
Yeah, I get that.
And like, I'm bought into the characters and want to see what goes on. And again, it is a bit daft here and there, but like, the characters can be a bit painful at times.
Yeah, fair. But forced stereotypes.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I think it's a bit old-fashioned.
I hear that. I'm totally with it. I'm fine with that.
And it's, as much as there's laughing moments in it, there's times where I'm like,
bit dead this
if that had a laugh track.
Yeah. We'll get into that because there's some laugh tracks coming up.
Well, we couldn't have timed it better.
Go on, let's go.
So that is in C then, we're happy with that.
I'm happy with C, to be honest. I'm happy with C.
Now, this is where we're going to lose some followers.
Ooh,
I already know it.
Go on.
Friends.
No,
William.
calm. Let's go.
3.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, go on. Go
yeah?
Yeah, go on. No, I just wanted to like recalibrate because I can't see it, but go on.
Right.
This is perfect.
Friends. 3, 2, 1.
B.
Lower than fucking
No,
D.
because listen, I
Lower
have to be fair.
Fucking the lowest
because
of low.
Because it's the OG. It is, I mean, I know there was other ones like Full House and whatever else.
I think it's safe to say Friends was...
Friends is like the pioneering, the one of the 90s. 286 episodes, allow it. It might be 246. Way too many. Don't need that many episodes of it. And I did enjoy...
When nothing really actually happens as well.
We both watched it when we were kids, when we were younger, and really enjoyed it then. It's only watching it now.
I honestly didn't then either.
I know it's got a live audience, but I know they dial up the volume on those laugh tracks and give it a good...
Yeah, everyone laugh for this bit.
Yeah, and I can't get behind it if it's got a laugh track.
Liam, have you ever seen the clips of when they take the laughing track off?
Yeah, I have.
It's painfully awkward to watch.
Also, because they pause sometimes. I've seen it when Ross did something, they pause because they're laughing, and then he says his line without the laugh track. It's just, he says his line, and then...
Yeah.
And I can't... But I feel like B is
also because
fair,
it's not
though.
funny.
Some of it's funny. But B is as fair as I can give it because of its icon status. And it had a million like guest stars that are like Oscar winners, Emmy winners, and great actors. So
I'm
giving it its respect.
I'll be honest. Now I've finished with my dramatism.
Yes.
C is as high as I can give it.
C is what I'll bank you in.
It's as high as I can give it because...
Go on.
And again, I'm going to use the phrase again.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use it about other shows. I actually think we'll get on... I don't know. We'll get on to the show I was going to compare it to later. Yes. And maybe I'll bring this point up when we talk about that show.
I probably know the show.
I feel like this show, obviously it's iconic, and I think it was just the shiny new thing, and that's why everybody loved it.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled by everything on this list.
Oh my gosh, big time.
Because I have tried so hard to watch Friends. I'm probably halfway through season 4. I can't.
It's not grabbed you.
I can't. I've tried so hard. I even like the characters. I think they're good characters.
A lot of logistical things. They're all meant to be broke. How are they affording this enormous
fucking beautiful apartment? 2 as well.
2 apartments in New York. Also, like the thing, do people in Central Park just never sit in those seats? Do they just wait for those people?
Yeah.
Do they have a permanent booking?
This is it.
What's their coffee bill that they can go that often?
Yeah, they need a life, man.
Also, none of them work. Apart from Ross, who works, but he's rarely at his job.
Yeah, and obviously Joey's a bit of a like failed actor, isn't he?
Yeah, so which is terribly ironic because then he would go on to be a failed actor.
Yeah, but doesn't he like play himself in quite a successful British series, ironically?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's like slagging off an old classic Hollywood actor that you don't think's very good anymore. But you're like, I get they had their moment. They had their moment.
Yeah.
And the only credit I'm going to give them is that they existed so shows I actually love could exist.
See, I'll allow it. There's others I'm going to fight you for. So I'm
not really happy with it because I do think it is, and I mean this, the most overrated piece of TV, cinema, anything I've ever heard of.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that.
People cut their wrist and bleed Friends quotes. I fucking don't get it.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Get it. Carry on. Next
one.
Oh, is this going to be a divisive one?
I don't know.
Go on.
It's pretty set in stone for me, but I feel like you won't agree.
Go on then.
Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, okay.
3, 2, 1, S.
That's fine.
I
think you need to come down a peg, and I love Parks and Rec. I've seen it many times through, but being that it's a slightly lesser office, although I think it's very funny, and I think it's got some endearing characters.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I mean, they were on at the same time, but it was on just after.
Yeah.
They certainly took a little bit. They basically said, let's make Michael, but make him productive.
Yeah.
Let's take this person, but twist him like this. So they've got
it's
a lot of
conveyor belt of the
similarities.
Office ideas, isn't it? That they've gone, like, we'll take that method.
And I think it works really well. It's a very funny show, but I think it's just a scotch under.
I am prepared to come down.
Go on, because I moved for you.
Absolutely,
you can move for me.
And because I'm aware that that's one of those ones that I love so much, so I am definitely biased on.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny.
It is.
I think it's really well written. And again, I think the character arcs are brilliant. But one other thing I will say is, as we said with, I think it was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the wrapping the show up, I haven't seen many shows do it better than Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Because, like...
It's hard to do a workplace one because what you're going to do is have everyone retire.
Well, it's more the fact that, like April was just like doing the job because she didn't care about anything. She's like got a job she's actually passionate about. Everybody ends up doing something that they want to, and it's not forced. They all do well.
Yeah.
They do, like, the last couple of episodes, there's lots of jumping from past to present.
Yeah.
And they wrap it up really, really nicely. And I think it's really cool.
It's by the same guy who does Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well.
Yes, it is.
Same guy.
Well, there you go.
Mike Schur.
What's he called?
Mike Schur.
Props to him.
Also, you know that's the guy that's Mose from The Office.
Fuck off.
You never knew this?
No.
Mose from The Office, Dwight's cousin, is the one who produced both those shows and many other then shows as a writer.
I didn't know it was Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think I did know Parks and Rec, but I didn't know it was Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's him and with someone else.
What, everybody on The Office, all the geniuses are the ones you want to think of.
No.
What's
Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Well, obviously, yeah, but like Ryan. I forgot his fucking name.
BJ Novak.
Yeah. He's literally like one of the key writers, isn't he?
Yep. So is Mindy Kaling.
Yes, which is crazy. Which actually, that semi-makes sense, I think. Because she's funnier.
She is funny.
But anyway, so I think we'll settle on that one.
Yep.
Now, this one.
Go on.
If this isn't exactly the same answer, I'm going to lose a bit of respect for you.
Go on then. Well, that means S or F. Go on.
It's D. It's the bottom, remember.
Oh, D,
because I need this to be fucking clip moment.
Go on then. Go on.
Superstore.
Yeah, come.
3, 2, 1.
Z.
D. Fucking yes.
Z.
Get it lower than D.
Yeah, I can't get behind it.
What a bag of shit.
I can't get behind it.
What a bag of shit. It's got Amy Santiago in, and it still is shit.
I can't get behind it. The only funny person on the show is Cheyenne's boyfriend. You know the guy who's in
the guy who's
in Fallout? You know the guy who's like 40, but he's got the little mustache? You know the one who was in The Robot?
Oh, yeah.
He's in it, and her boyfriend. He's the only joke character.
Yes, he is. Okay.
I think they force stereotypes too much. After 10 minutes, you go, okay, she's the sassy one. She's the scaredy cat. He's the sassy one. They force the stereotypes too much. And I think every sitcom needs to have that.
No,
Dwight's
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Jim's the does nothing. Creed's the weirdo. I'm with it.
Absolutely.
But they sort of bend in and out, and you find out more, and you go, oh, Kevin can play ball. Oh, and he does music. He plays the drums, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But on this one, it feels too forced. What's the guy called? The guy who's the manager?
Can't remember.
Oh, what's his name? Whatever it is, I don't like him as a character.
Whatever
I
he
can't get behind him.
Can I ask, do you know how, is it? It's only the one series, isn't it? It didn't get
No, it's got loads of series.
Does it?
It's got like 7.
Sorry, what? It's quite new though. It was only like...
No.
The first series was literally like 4 years ago. How's it got 7 series?
It's got bare seasons.
But it didn't. It started
on for
after
time.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so how has it got that many series?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine finished time ago.
No, it didn't.
Must have been. Well, either way,
Because it was after COVID, wasn't it?
it was
because-
during COVID because they had a COVID.
Yeah, but I mean, they
episode in the
finished
show.
after COVID, technically.
Yeah, I
Because-
think they did, but they
Because
must have
when
started
you
earlier. then.
to go back very briefly to when you said that they tackled the stereotypes really well.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine tackled the George Floyd thing exceptionally
They
well.
did. People didn't like it though.
They didn't.
It's their lowest rated
and
episode.
obviously, they couldn't have really won with that.
No,
Considering
it
it's
was
an
a way to
episode
win.
about police officers, I
You
thought
have
they
to.
did really
They
quite
did.
well.
But yeah, Superstore Bobbins.
But
show.
anyway, so I can't understand how they can be that many series. I was convinced that it did 1 or 2 series and got
It's
scrapped.
got like 6 or something.
That is disappointing.
Do you not think Jonah looks like James?
I can't even tell you. Mate, I
He's the
don't
main
even think I
guy.
finished the first series.
Okay, first. But no, I can't get behind it. I don't think it's a good show. I think
the idea of it could have been really
I
good.
love a workplace sitcom.
Yeah,
Workplace
absolutely.
sitcom's the perfect sitcom, and I think it's Bobbins.
Well, have you seen the film? I can't remember what it's fucking called, but you know the guy Good Luck Chuck, the guy who plays Good Luck Chuck with Jessica Alba.
I know
Oh,
the
he was
title, but I
literally
can't
like,
think who. Why is he in Superstore or something?
no, but it is a film of him being basically the same thing. There's like all these staff in like a Costco and them just dossing it off and like
Oh,
smoking weed behind one of the fucking shelves and all this stuff. And it's a similar vibe,
probably, but okay.
but it's a good vibe because obviously
okay.
everyone's trying to be, I think it's called Employee of the Month. It's like one of those
We'll have to, as soon as
Netflix, Disney Plus, like,
Splinter, we needed you here for this one.
Z-list films.
Go on.
It's a good watch when you're not really paying attention.
But
Anyway, that's basically the premise of the film.
That's
but
what Superstore is.
I don't think I think the idea was good.
They just didn't execute
They
it
didn't
well.
execute it terribly. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Hate
that's
Mateo
going
as well.
fat in the
I
D.
don't like him.
Hey. Right. This is a clean sweep. Now let's get this over with. Modern Family, 3, 2, 1, S.
Double S.
Double S. Let's whack that right to the
Great
top.
show.
I think,
Wonderful show.
for me,
Ty Burrell's my king.
oh my
He
God.
is me and I am him.
Very
True.
much so. Ironically, I think I could pick you out in a good few of these series.
Pick me.
Like
Like
your
for
character.
about
Yeah.
who I am.
And I'm not going to bring it up because ironically it's the next one.
Yep.
But Modern Family speaks for itself again.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to rim it too much.
No,
but
we
what I
don't.
will say is I don't think any show on this list, including my grave favourites, do as well as this. It makes me piss myself laughing.
Yep.
It makes me cry my eyes out.
Yep.
It teaches me life lessons.
Teaches you lessons.
It teaches me everything.
Oh,
There's
always.
literally everything.
The character arc that Jay goes on from season 1 of having a gay son and not being cool with it and being a tough bloke from the old times and who listens to Frankie Valli and is not interested in this modern. And then the journey that he goes on till the end of the series.
Is there a better character arc in TV?
No.
With that,
yes.
obviously,
but not in sitcoms.
there probably is.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head,
Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. and Walter White in Breaking Bad. But they're
Right.
not
Yeah,
they're
fair.
not good examples right now. But for sitcoms, there's
for
no
a
one better than
cliche
him.
of going from miserable
Nah.
old man to like him
They do
actually
it
being very
effortlessly.
caring.
They
it's
do it
fantastic.
so well.
And even still, like in the later series where like he dips into being a bit like old fashioned and stuff, the joke's on him and he's aware of it, and
Yeah.
it's really funny.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I can specifically think of the moment where Cam and Mitch are trying to talk to Lily about like her friend at school is like, I think it's a trans child, and they think that Lily is being like nasty to this trans child or whatever, and they're trying to talk Lily about it to Lily about it and trying to teach her of it. And Jay says, "Well, what do you think? What would you do if Lily came home one day and wanted to be Jason or something like that?" And they literally Cam and Mitch are both like, "Well, I think it'd take me a minute because I expected to walk my daughter down the aisle and all that." And Jay was like, "Well, when it took me a minute to get past my son, getting past
This
the
is
things I
what
thought
I'm
I was going to do with my
saying.
son, it was like fucking what."
This is what I'm saying.
And obviously they were laughing about it, but I was like, that is flawless.
That's what I'm saying.
It's flawless.
Great show.
Ironically, all the characters apart from Lily, they dropped the
Well, it
ball
won
when they hired her. And I know it was probably a gamble because she was fucking
It's kid.
one.
Yeah.
But Christ, for them to even
Yeah,
have
she's
to
not the best
rewrite her
actress.
character into being a miserable little bitch,
Yeah.
because they pretty much did, didn't they?
It's
Which
still
just
at
shows...
S tier though. Still at S tier show.
Still
though.
S tier, which I think they learned from because do you remember when Joe was born?
Yep.
It's a different kid for the first series,
Yep.
first like few episodes. I don't even think it's full series.
No.
And then the actual kid who plays Joe,
That kid with the big
brilliant.
head. Meathead.
Yeah, literally the mop.
Mm.
He looks like he's called Karen.
Yep. He does.
But do you not think he is an exceptional comedy
good.
actor? Like
He's
the way
good.
he actually delivers his
Yeah.
comedy is brilliant.
He's good.
But again, one final one to talk about Jay's character arc. There's literally, I quote all the time because I always joke about that since me and Lil's got together, her humour has gone so dark. And
it's just because of you.
And it's because of me.
Yeah.
And I love it and it makes me laugh. But then when she says something, I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh, don't repeat that in front of anyone else.
It makes me go back to when Jay is talking about Joe's being like, he's being cheeky to Gloria or whatever, or he's like doing all this stuff that's like Jay sees in himself, and Gloria's telling Jay to like pull him up on it, and he's like, it's well funny. And it's like, it's such a compliment because I see myself in it, and I love it. And then he sees Joe speak to Manny like really poorly or whatever. And he has a go at him, and he finally has a go at him, and he sits down in one of those interview ones, he goes, when you see the things that you like in your kids about yourself, it's brilliant. But when you see the things you don't like about yourself, it's a kick in the nuts. Yeah. And I was like, when I see Lil's dropping really an offensive joke, I'm like, oh, it's a great example. That's my fault.
It's a great example.
If I saw myself say that joke, I'd go, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Double S tier.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think I could, without even looking at them, I think I could say 4 or 5 of these are my all-time favourites. And if we had to do a Desert Island disc
Desert Island TV shows, is on there.
They'd all be on it. But that show.
Yeah, I agree. Say less.
Okay.
What's next?
Now next, this is one.
I gotta guess what it is, because what you said about me being like him.
Yeah, go on.
Is it Marshall, How I Met Your Mother?
It's absolutely Marshall.
Great. Should we get 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, right.
Go on
3.
then.
3, 2, 1.
B low.
B or C.
B, but low B.
I'm going to go low B.
And I've not even seen the show inside out. I've watched more of the show on TikTok and on my lunch breaks than I've watched actual episodes.
Really?
Because a lot of clips and I go, oh, I'm going to watch this. Like I watched the whole part of when Marshall's dad dies and then the lead up to it with the numbers in the episodes, whatever. It's the only I can think of show that has a laugh track on it.
That's quite
that I really like. And it's only because the show is actually funny.
Yeah.
And the show's very creative.
Yes.
Because it does a lot of cutaways to other stuff.
Yes.
And it's quite, what's the word, like fantastical. It's almost like Family Guy.
Oh, because
it's very
he's
different.
Recalling the stories.
Not only that, but like they'll do things that aren't humanly possible. Like the whole thing about Barney not being able to take a bad picture.
Yeah.
And like she'll take a picture when he's eating and then he's like, you know.
And I was watching
I
was watching the other day and they're talking about the mermaid theory, which is basically like a guy in a relationship can't be friends with a girl because of the mermaid theory, that they'll see him, they can't hang out separately.
Yeah.
Because when they're in a group, because it's a friend and they're a girl, he says that they look like a manatee, which is like, you know, like a seal or whatever. But when they see them on their own and they start hanging out with them, they'll start to see them as a mermaid. Yeah. And it's because of the theory that like, when you can't have anything else, something starts to look really good. Yeah. Because he was talking about how sailors would look at manatees, and that's where the theory of mermaids came from, allegedly. Anyway, but and talking about the fantastical elements. He was Marshall's hanging out with Robin because they made a comment how they never hang out separately, and like in his head it shows from her angle, and she's literally like dressed as a walrus. Yeah. And it's brilliant. But I honestly have been rewatching this show for the first time in like 6-7 years for this episode of our podcast. Yeah, you did some research. I could not feel more equipped to answer it. Go. And I will. And that's the last episode I watched yesterday was Marshall's dad dying. Great one. So ironically, perfect timing. He's a good actor. Really good actor. And I've got to say, I actually really love the show again because I bashed it in my first year of university. Yeah. And got it watched in like a month. And then when I looked back at it, I was like, why did I enjoy that? Because when I look back sometimes, I'm like, it's not very funny. It's a bit cringy here and there. But you like the characters, yes. I'm rewatching it now. There's some bits that are not. Barney, what a Marmite character. Sometimes he does things and it's actually well funny. Yeah. And other times he does things and it's like, this is the most 2000s American TV. Yeah. And it's painful. Yeah. But I do feel so equipped for it because it executes some really unique like sitcom aspects, like the flashback stuff really well. Like the cutaways. Because he's telling his kids the stories. Yeah. There'll be examples like when he's telling a story about some girl he met who's like, at the time he thought was really important, but the moral of the story is that she wasn't, and he can't remember her name, so we'll call her blah, blah. The whole episode, whenever anyone refers to this person, they call him blah, blah. Yeah. And it's like, that little concept of that fantasial element was like actually really funny. And the character arcs, again, are really good. But then the big criticism for me, and again, from someone who was actually really enjoying this, I'm bashing it at the moment, I am enjoying it. Ted is a prick. Ted is a prick. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the fact that he's unrealistic and romantic and all this stuff. Yeah. He's actually a bit of a wanker sometimes. Yeah. And I also can't fuck with just the inbred of the whole situation. Sure. The incestual, for that many for 6 people? These Marshall, Lily, Robin, Barney, and Ted.
Yeah.
Ted and Barney are fucking passing Robin left, right, and centre, like back and forth, playing tennis with the poor girl. And like, but then suddenly, like 1 minute when the other's into him, the other one's just not, apparently. And then they just switch the feelings on and off. And it's just like,
I get it.
It's weird. And as much as they draw points to it and make a joke out of it here and there, it's like, so Barney like doesn't want to ever see a girl more than once. Yeah. And then he's suddenly in love with Robin. And then they make a big deal about him being in love with Robin for over a year or two in the show, a year or two. So it's literally like a season or two. And then he gets with her. Not even 5-6 episodes later, they are so miserable in the relationship that they make a comment about them both letting themselves go, and the friends have to sit them down and go, you guys aren't happy. And I swear to God, after this year of them being in a relationship and 2 years of him fancying her, they look at each other and go, oh, should we see it more as friends getting back together and like not a breakup? Shake hands, like nothing's happened, and they just move on.
I get it. I think though, maybe we move from B to C because of the ending, because I hated the ending unanimously is. I think that seems
a little painful.
That's what I mean, because I'm seeing a poll of like most hated TV show endings, and it was rated from like best to worst, and it was dead last. Every man and his dog said we hated that. It was garbage.
Considering they blue balls us for series and series and series and series.
So,
but we'll put it. Should we put it in B then?
No, I think put it in C.
Put it in C. Okay, let's put it in C.
Have we got anything in B right now?
Nothing.
B would be average, like middle of the road. Bang average.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I do feel like we need to wrap through these rest ones.
Yeah, come on, let's keep going.
But I think it's fairly easy. Big
on.
Bang Theory. 3, 2, 1, D.
F.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to put it in F. I'm into that stuff. I'm into comic books and superheroes.
So why do I not like
that
it?
Nerdy stuff. Because the characters are insufferable.
They're not
and
funny.
The laugh track isn't good.
No.
And it's not a joke show.
Yeah,
it's not a funny show.
My family loved this show. And when it was like in its peak, I remember watching it and enjoying it. And then I don't know what it was. I must have fucking hit puberty or something.
And you went, this is terrible.
It's as if the veil just dropped and I was like, what is this shit that I'm watching?
Yeah.
Garbage, not funny.
Nope.
But again, should be. It's just not.
Chuck it at the bottom of the list with Superstar.
Bottom of the list. This one is definitely a one-sided one.
Go on.
Peep Show. 3, 2, 1, B.
I was going to say B for you, because you've seen a lot more than me, and this is one of your favourite shows. And the handful of episodes I've seen are really funny, but I can't speak in it, so you can put it where you like.
I honestly would put it higher than B.
You can put it higher than B.
Well, I would put it in A, but again, I'm very, very, very conscious that with this show, it is the most Marmite of shows.
I'll get it.
There's so many people that watch it, and for the reasons I love it.
They don't like the talking head thingy.
For the reason I love it, they hate it. I think it's the most unique show in the world.
I get it.
And me and David will quote this.
Oh, you will. All the time.
I can't live my life without doing the thing in my head.
Oh,
that they do, and like Peep Show quotes, and it's just the most ridiculous, hilarious show. It has no other element to it other than just being ridiculous and funny, and I think it does it flawlessly.
Certainly does.
So I am actually going to put that in A.
Run it up.
But it is very British.
I'm happy with that.
And again, I don't know if they did, but if they did, I think they did actually. Did they do an American one?
They tried and it was terrible.
Can you imagine how awful that would be?
They did This Country, an American version. That is such a British show. It doesn't make any sense in America. They just made them hillbillies.
Absolutely.
Everyone hated it.
This next one.
Speaking of which,
go on.
I know certain ones coming up they made an American version of, and it was terrible, about a certain group of sixth form students.
They've already done it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you said they're doing a new one. Right, well, that's coming up. So next one I'm very passionate about, but we're going to have to keep this short.
Go on.
New Girl.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
A+.
Oh, okay.
It's I can't put everything S, but I think it's the funniest show, and every character is brilliantly written. And I think it's a great show. It's a really strong A for me.
I can't really budge on S. I think this and Modern Family are my perfect shows.
Put it in S. I'm fine with it. It's
personally,
so high on
if you're okay with that.
For me, I'm perfectly with New Girl going S because I really love it.
I think the characters are the most, each and every one of them is the most hilarious characters in their own way.
They are.
And this is the one where I feel like it's the biggest rip-off of Friends, but in the
just
best
makes it
way.
So much funnier.
I feel like Friends had to walk so New Girl could run.
Did you
they're
watch...
even in a fucking loft, just random mates in New York or whatever. Well, they're not in New York. Chicago, I think. But like it's literally, it's like someone took the ingredients.
Yeah, no,
from
I
Friends.
agree.
But I adore it.
Did you watch the new Hot Ones versus with Schmidt and Coach?
No, I saved it. I haven't watched it.
Really good.
No.
They act so much like Schmidt and Coach.
Schmidt is one of the best characters in sitcom.
I love him. He's great.
You should hate him. You should hate him.
We don't hate him. He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, even the douche jar, like, he's supposed to be insufferable.
He's supposed to be a guy you hate.
He fucking makes me howl.
Yeah.
I love him.
Winnie the Bish is my favourite character. I think it's great. And he's in the SNL movie, so I'm looking forward to watching that. But
Winnie
I
the Bish,
love
he's
Winnie
another
the
one.
Bish.
He shouldn't be that funny, but he fucking really, really is.
Because his character thing's dumb. Like, he loves pranks, but they're either way too small or too big.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest one is that they made him think that they all had to, like, move out.
Yeah.
And they got as far as moving everything out. They were like, it was all just banter.
The ending of that show is one of the worst endings by far.
I don't remember how it ends.
At the same, that's it. Winnie the Bish pranks them on thinking they've got to move out of the loft.
Oh, was that the end?
That was the end. And they all just go their separate ways.
It's not a good finale, though.
So it's not. But then at the same time, what I've kind of got to artistically be loyal to is,
how else do you end that?
That is what Winnie the Bish does.
Feels about right.
So maybe it is right.
S tier.
So S tier.
Keep it going.
Okay, I think apart from...
We've got to rattle through some of these.
I think we can rattle through some of these.
Let's go.
The In-Betweeners.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, S tier. No, I don't even need to say anything.
It's a staple of British comedy.
You know what? When I said about the US Office, no show I could do a trivia on, I would get more.
The In-Betweeners.
I could do this more. I could monologue all 3 seasons.
I think I'd struggle purely because it was that long ago and it's so hard to rewatch. It's not on anything, is it?
I've got it on DVD. That's how I've rewatched it so much. I've got the box set.
There you go, brilliant.
S tier.
But I think we could wrap that one up pretty quickly. Like,
easy
what's this
peasy.
to say? It's fucking flawed.
Nothing
That
else to
is
say.
honestly, I think it's foundations of a whole generation's humour.
Yep, 100%.
Can you say that about any other show?
No.
Absolutely not.
Go.
Next one. I'm going to Arrested Development, basically.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, A.
B. I just haven't seen enough of it. And I'm fine with it, but I've watched a fair portion of season 1 and I've seen a lot of clips. A lot of clips. And maybe because I don't know all the characters inside out, but I didn't laugh my ass off like I did. I love Jason Bateman.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And is it Job?
Yeah, Job.
I love a lot of the characters.
But I can't remember his name.
Will Arnett.
Yeah, that is his name. Well done, yeah.
There's a lot of them that really good.
That like sketch detective show where they have to kind of like improvise.
He's Lego Batman.
Oh fuck yeah, he is, isn't he?
I just didn't find it as funny as I thought I would have done, but maybe I just need to watch more.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it being B for me. That's middle of the road. Like,
listen,
it's good.
I can meet you in
average.
I can meet you in B because I don't think it's fair to put a show in A and S.
It doesn't deserve to be in A.
Massive.
I agree.
It won a lot of awards.
And it was around for a while.
Yeah, it was around for a while. But I have to say, it's genuinely the cleverest show I've ever seen.
Yeah, fair
You can tell that the Russo brothers written it.
Yeah.
Wrote it because it's just, the one episode, a season could be the same 2 days, but from every character's angle and the way it overlaps is flawless.
Okay.
But it's the kind of humour that is, I don't even want to say clever humour because it's obviously not clever.
Highbrow humour.
But not even necessarily that because it is daft.
Okay.
But it's like you have to get tied into the characters and understand the characters to then find it really, really funny.
I get that.
And it's one of my favourites. It's got a special place for me.
Go on then. Next one.
The IT Crowd.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, C.
C feels fine. It doesn't even mean it's bad. C's like you just bang it. This should be the majority.
It's really good, but it's a moment in time.
Moment in time.
I struggle to rewatch it these days.
Yeah, that's got a laugh track as well, hasn't it?
It does, yeah. And it is quite funny, but it's very early 2000s British. That got me through my GCSEs because whenever my parents thought I was revising, I was watching IT Crowd.
No, it's good. Chris O'Dowd and
Richard Ayoade. They were really funny.
They're good pairing.
Yeah, and it's a very clever show.
It is, indeed.
But, yeah. Next. Fresh Meat. 3, 2, 1, B.
B feels fair.
B feels fair. Again, it kind of cemented a generation of people out of like in the UK.
It's shot in Whalley Range.
They walk past my halls for RTM.
Their local pub, the King's Arms, is at the end of my street.
I've gigged at the King's Arms. I know it well.
The end of my street.
It's mental, isn't it?
It is very close to home.
It is actually very funny.
It's a great show.
It is daft.
Good characters.
You
know Vod?
British Standpoint. Yeah. She's massive now, isn't she?
Loki's wife.
Yes, I did know that, yeah.
And, and they've got kids.
Yeah, and she's the villain in the Marvels, isn't she?
Yep. That really good movie, which we loved.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's a pretty easy clean up.
Yeah, go on then.
The next one.
Go on.
Derry Girls.
Yeah, okay.
3, 2, 1,
B. Another good B.
Another good B.
It's another good show. It's another good show.
Have you watched it then properly?
All of it.
Good, yeah.
All of it through.
My family had loved this series.
I do.
It has me in stitches. Yeah. And the only reason I'd say it might deserve to be higher is because the way it tackles the political unrest in Ireland.
It does.
By it all being in the foreground is actually really clever, considering it's a daft comedy.
They go through that stuff
really
a lot, talking about the actual beef that was going on at that time.
And obviously it represents what those kids' lives would have been like. Yeah. They wouldn't have thought about the big picture of what's going on. They're just walking past these blokes with rifles. It's really clever.
Had Liam Neeson in the last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it doesn't deserve to be an A&S purely because, again, it's not big enough. It's not big enough for me.
It's a good B. It's a good solid B. No, there's strong in each category for me. Yeah. There's some that are at the edge of theirs, some that are at the top.
Absolutely.
That's a good middle of the line B.
Absolutely. The next one, Friday Night Dinner.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
B plus.
Yeah, B plus is fair.
It's a B, super strong B, because I love that show.
I do.
Everyone still says Shalom, Jackie.
Yeah.
Or does the impression of Jim and his dog, Winston.
For my birthday in 2020, my friends, shout out Dan Pinder especially,
I remember this.
got me a video of Jim reading out, like,
he was eating pineapples out of a jar.
A jar of pineapples, like wishing me happy birthday, and it's fucking brilliant.
Watching it back, and only because we both watched the little documentary series they did before Paul Ritter died, and talking about it. And the funniest moment, I think, in the show, they're all Jim moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
The funniest bit
absolutely.
is where he pours the tin of red paint on himself and he goes, blood, so much blood. And obviously it's paint. And they're like, Jim, it's not blood, it's paint. And he just keeps saying blood. Oh, it's the funniest thing ever. And then he's like touching all of her curtains, trying to wipe it off. Yeah,
but again,
he's the best character in that show.
Should be not funny and
I think if he wasn't in the show and they just did, it was just them, it would not be a funny show.
And really, think about it. That character should be so offensive because he's very clearly...
he's got a lot of things going on.
Got learning difficulties. Neurodivergence.
Yeah.
He's an SEN kid.
He's an SEN
special
kid.
educational needs.
He's at your school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But not for being a naughty boy.
Exactly, yeah. But fucking hell, is he funny.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
But again, I think it's a bit of a staple for British humour. And again, I still quote that all the time, as you do.
Yeah, I do.
And again, I think it's still a bit of a foundation of many of my friendships.
Wonderful show.
It's, I think...
I think Johnny and Anna are a bit insufferable. I think the banter they kind of fought, even though the writer had a brother called Johnny or Adam, whichever one he's not, I always look and think, that doesn't feel like how I've got two brothers and I don't feel like I ever acted like that.
They're weird, aren't they?
The salt in the glass thing, I'm like, it's a bit kind of dead banter.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just never loved it.
Absolutely.
Their brotherly thing.
And I think they only get away with it because the dad is like, dad banter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, eating corned beef that's 25 years old.
Never got a shirt on.
Like, never got a shirt on. That shouldn't be
boiling.
Funny. Exactly. It's bloody boiling. But like, as the show writer said, he was like, that's like what it was like. So maybe they were like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way.
But again, British standpoint, let's keep it there.
Yeah, go on. And we got 2 more?
We've got 2 left.
Go on then. Read them out.
This is one I forgot about.
I can't even remember what we've got left now. I feel like we've done them all.
And for one moment, I'm going to make my decision.
What's that?
Always.
Oh, was it you doing your hat?
No.
Oh, go on.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Come.
3, 2, 1. S.
No question.
Absolutely.
To be running for that long.
And
the show's been going for 17 years and they're about to... No. Is either 17 years about to shoot season 16 or 16 years about to do 17?
I think they're shooting series 18.
I think it's 18 then 17 years.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
I love that show. And that's another one that I'm owed a check from FX.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I put so many people on that show.
I put crazy hours into that show, me.
Yeah. And they're so different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Because they take so many more risks.
Oh my God.
Charlie says the N word and the R word in one episode.
Yeah.
Hard R.
Frank's dropping them left, right, and centre.
Frank does it all the time.
How have you taken a household name like Danny DeVito and made him
say F-A-G-G-O-T?
Yeah.
Many, many times.
Absolutely.
Mad.
But that's another thing, considering how ridiculous and hilarious it is.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's really funny, just like all the other shows. But what I will say is, it's so clever how them being so offensive and backwards, I think the reason they get away with it is because the joke's on them.
Yeah.
The joke's on them being backwards and being like...
Off topic, really quickly. Did you see that they're redoing American Psycho?
Yes.
And everybody and their dog wants Glenn Howerton, Dennis, to play him, even though he's way too old to play Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Please make him play, because he is Patrick Bateman in the show.
Yeah, yes, he is.
He's perfect for it because he's trying to he's someone who cares about his appearance. He's very vain. He's the golden god.
He's a sociopath.
The bit when he says to Dee, he goes, I should have you killed and turned into my skin luggage. I'll even add you to my collection. And she's like, you have a luggage, a skin luggage collection? He goes, what about the smell, you bitch? You haven't thought about the smell. Oh, it's just the best show ever.
But like, there is
It's so
literally nothing
funny.
like that show, though, is there really?
No,
Like,
there's no
it's fucking
comparable.
daft and it's well funny.
They're doing an Abbott Elementary crossover.
Yes, I heard. And I haven't seen Abbott Elementary. My sister was telling me to watch it.
Maybe we'll add it to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now,
that's
S-tier.
a super
It's such a unique show. And a special moment, I will say, for when Mac does that dance.
Oh, it's so good. For his dad.
How on earth does that make you cry?
Yep.
That show, like, that episode made me tear up. And fucking, I guess that was kind of exactly the point, wasn't it? Like,
it
because interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Do we look like blokes that watch interpretive dance? No.
But that's when Frank says, I get it. That's the line he goes, he goes, I get it. And he's got tears in his eyes.
Is that not alone? Like, what a moment in TV.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting actual goosebumps thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Fantastic. And I've on that moment alone, for me, it deserves to be on a God tier for me.
It's big time S tier.
Because if you've got a moment that, like, that's that definable and that iconic, you're in an S tier for me.
Big time.
You are. And we're leaving.
Go on, what's the last one?
Such a brilliant one.
Go on, which one are we leaving? I have no idea what we even have left. I can't remember.
Benidorm.
Okay, you've seen a lot more Benidorm than me as well.
I've been to the hotel. I've met the cast.
Oh, yeah, you have?
Yeah, by accident.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
And I love Benidorm, and it's a staple in my
it's
household.
It's another British strong one, though.
But I'm going to say, so are you even going to give us a number?
No, I just want to hear yours.
I'm going to say B.
B, I thought you were going to
Purely because the first half of it is hilarious. Really funny, really daft, proper British humour. Northern humour, I'm going to say, really.
Northern humour is a good way to put it.
And to be fair, if we were going to go into subcategories, I'd be throwing like the Royal Family and other Northern shows in that are just like staple holds.
Yeah.
But this one became a nationwide love, but it was really Northern humour. Everybody at the hotel is pretty much Northern.
Yeah.
But the second half of the series is fucking becomes Coronation Street. It's crap.
Yeah, fairs. So B feels about right for you, not C.
I think it feels about
right.
Is
it a
for
low
me.
B or a strong B? B plus or B minus?
Honestly, I'm not even sure because it couldn't be more middle because B is literally, there's two below it and two above it. And I think half of the series is really good and half of them are really bad.
I get it.
So I'm going to keep it there. And we're going to have a couple of special mentions for, there's some really wacky ones like the likes of Shameless, I think, is nuts.
There was some others we both remembered and we went, there's too many.
There's too many. I mean, we're going to do a whole separate one for cartoon shows, the likes of Family Guy and American Dad, Futurama, Simpsons, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the other one I thought of is when I said the Royal Family. Have you ever seen The Windsors?
No. Oh, you have? No, you have.
Oh my God,
because it's oh my gosh, what's the guy called? The one that does Harry and Harry. Oh, not Eckford, obviously.
That's me.
Harry Enfield.
Yes, it plays Charles.
Yes.
I think it's Harry Enfield.
It is Harry Enfield.
Yeah,
he is a legend.
Brother,
and I really love his thing. I've only ever seen clips.
If you like The Crown, watch that show. Because if it's The Crown, if it was a spoof.
I get it. I love it.
I have so many of my Snapchat memories from like a 6-month period a couple of years ago are just quotes from that.
Yeah.
There's literally, it's
You've
obviously,
sent me clips from that.
It's a spoof piss take of the Royal Family and how they've got away with it, I do not know.
I get it.
Camilla is an actual witch and a racist.
Yeah.
Like Charlie is just awful. They're all awful. Andrew's like, they even make comments about it. Like these Beatrice and his daughters, they make a comment about, are you Prince Andrew's son? And they're like, yeah, our daddy's the one that was in Pizza Express in Woking and like says and then just move on. Don't say anything else about it. But like, there was literally what lives with me so much is that they've ran with like tiny little tabloid stories about the Royal Family. Like when they were saying that Kate's like a gypsy because like a fucking distant auntie's like a traveller or whatever. And there's literally an episode where she goes to a fair and meets her ex-husband because she was married to some gypsy. And she literally says to him, she's like, no, we're not getting back together. You sold me for a can of Fanta. And he goes, I wanted a drink.
You've shown me that, that is funny.
I was fucking rolling. Oh my God, it's so daft. But obviously a show like that cannot be on this list.
No.
It absolutely can't be.
We'll do it. But that, I'm really happy with this
I can't believe that's gone so well.
It's gone very well. I'm pleased. I thought there'd be a lot more beefing, but I'm really pleased with that. It's a good spread.
Yeah, my goats are in my goats, and my maybes have,
I'm cool with everything on that list as is.
Totally fair.
I think we should say, for anyone listening, please comment on wherever you're listening to this below.
Yep.
Did we get them right? Did we get them wrong?
What did we miss out?
Did we miss it? What's your favourite show?
What's your favourite show? Absolutely.
And why did we not mention it?
We're going to have missed loads of sitcoms because I also think there's a fair line between what a sitcom is.
There'll be a lot.
Do you know what I mean?
Someone put WandaVision as their sitcom. They technically had a first episode of a sitcom.
Technically.
So,
they did.
But
special mention for the end.
Go on.
You've been enjoying Agatha.
I have.
I'm 2 episodes in.
Surprisingly really good.
I'm not enjoying
They
it.
did a big reveal last episode, so you need to watch it.
I feel like when I was watching She-Hulk to just get Daredevil.
No, it's way better than She-Hulk.
I'm not enjoying it though, bro.
No, it's good.
It's just balmy.
It is a bit balmy, but when the more you watch it, yeah, you don't like the Down the Witch's Road song, whatever.
Oh my God.
I don't mind this song.
Fucking daft women singing a shit song
I
around
hear you won't love. That's not the only song they're going to do. They do it a few more times. They do that song once more, and they do like a 70s glam rock thing. And it's pretty good.
Well, I can't wait to keep watching it.
You're going to love it. You know how you've seen second
absolutely
episode, have you seen the first trial where they're in the house and they all dress different? They all look different. You're not that far yet.
They've just opened the door.
Okay, never mind then.
The whole, yeah.
Okay, I don't want to say anything more, but watch it. You'll like this bit. So, supposedly. But anyway, do you want to wrap it up?
But anyway, let's wrap it up. So thank you everybody for tuning in to our sitcom-based episode.
And let us know if there's another tier list you want us to do.
Absolutely.
Because we will rank anything.
We fucking love a tier list.
We love a tier list.
We've done our top 10 albums,
we did PS1 games. We did our rappers. We've done quite a few. So we're yet to do TV shows as a whole. We're yet to do cartoons.
Yes.
We're yet to do directors.
I don't even want to do movies, but I guess we're going to have to try.
We'll have to maybe do genre of movies,
I
possibly.
think so. And then I also want to do like rock albums and stuff because me and Liam actually do like more than hip hop. If you could believe that. But obviously
we can do that.
We need a tier list that's not going to include Kanye and
Give us some
Kendrick.
guesses. Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, you let us know what you want from us.
And until then,
because we'll ramble about it.
We will.
Until then. See you later. If I don't see you for a week, I'll see it through a fucking window.
Over and out.
Right, over and out. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Le Bosch.